So the other day I was reading a book and I found a quote that it changed my life entirely, because it changed how I perceive fear. And it starts like this. It starts with the question, is fear the result of thought? If it is thought, being always old, fear is always old. So what we are afraid of is the repetition of the old, the thought of what has been projecting into the future. And by the way, this is from Krishnamurti, from his book Freedom from the Known. I'm gonna put the details down in the description. I would 100% recommend it. And now going back to the quote, what he's getting at is that in reality, what fear is simply this idea, these thoughts that we create associated with repeating a negative experience in the future. That's basically it. That's it. It's simply that illusion that something bad is going to happen again in our lives. But there are different scenarios. So what I have observed is that there are like 3 major cases. So the first 2 are associated with personal experience. The first one is within the same area. So a simple example could be, let's say that someone failed an exam one time and now there's another one that's coming up. So now they're also afraid of failing that one. That it's like the fear of presenting itself again in the same area, which in this case would be education, right? Now, the second case is the one in which basically you're transferring that fear from one area to the next one. So, for instance, going again with the same example, let's say that you failed an exam and now you have an interview for a job coming up. You might be transferring that fear to that new area. And that's why you're afraid in that case. So in those 2 cases is because of personal experiences. The third case that I found is that it's something that happened around you, or it's basically someone else's fear projected into you. It can be either because it's a person in your close circle, or something that's simply social, or you have seen in history. So for instance, if it's something from your close circle, let's say that your parents have a business and they went bankrupt, and you're also interested in starting your own business. However, you're afraid that that's going to happen to you as well. So it's something negative that happened to someone else that you might be projecting into your own future. But there's one thing that you can do if you want to face your fear. And it might sound cliche, because it is. But what you can do is that you can take that step and you can take that risk. If there is a project that you want to start, if it's something that you really want to do and you're afraid of the consequences, what you have to do in that case is really just take the risk. But then there's 2 things that can happen. And I feel like if you know your 2 options, it's gonna help you to direct your energy and see which way you want to go, rather than having this feeling that you're simply going into something blindly. And what I noticed is that once you start to do something, there's 2 things that can happen. The first one is that you started this new activity and you see that it still resonates with you. It's actually something that you're still interested in. So what you can do is that you can continue to put effort in it to either maintain it or keep advancing in that field. The other option that can happen is that it no longer resonates with you, because that happens and that's completely fine. Like, we never really know what's gonna happen, so that's a possibility. In that case though, what you can do is simply walk away from that and accept that it was not something really for you, but you give it a chance. And now you have developed either skills or you learned something from it. So now you can redirect your energy into something different, and you might even have the chance really to transfer those skills and knowledge into something new that actually resonates with you. And that's what it's amazing about free will, that even though you can make a decision. You don't really have to stick to it if it's not something you're interested in. So you can simply switch paths and try something different, and that's fine. And that's really where confidence comes in, really, because what I have realized is that confidence comes from knowing when taking action is needed, either because it resonates with you, so you have to keep acting so that you can maintain it or advance in it, or the second case, you have to take the action of walking away from it. And all this applies to everything, really. It applies to education, it applies to work, it even applies to relationships, really. It's like you simply have to take the first step and work in it, see if it still resonates with you. If it does, then you still have to put the effort in, and if it doesn't, you can simply switch directions and go somewhere else. And yeah, that's basically everything that I wanted to share with you, and I hope that was helpful.